story time about the date that was literally so bad I had to leave 45 minutes in and delete Hinge afterwards. Okay, so the first red flag that I really started to realize over the course of the date is that this man was obsessed with Mayor Eric Adams. I had just gotten off the train and he was telling me that he was already at the restaurant. He was like, oh my god, you're literally never gonna believe it. Mayor Eric Adams is here. Now, if it had just been only that comment, I wouldn't have thought it was super weird. But just wait. So I get to the restaurant. And when I get there, he's just very awkward. When I come up to greet him, he's kind of like, hi, let's go inside. And then the host greets us. She's like, okay, for two. And then she brings us to the table and he's like, do you want to sit in the booth, or should I sit in the booth, or you want me to sit in? But I just wrote it off as, okay, maybe he's just a bit nervous. So we sit down, and again he's like, oh, it's so crazy the mayor's here, ha 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 ha. So I try to make conversation, and I literally just ask him, how's your day? Tell me why this man just decides to start lore dumping on me, trauma dumping on me. He basically tells me, yeah, I've been sitting around all day because I'm currently unemployed right now because I just got fired from my job because my ex-girlfriend got me in trouble with my boss. You know what's funny is, like, I guess I could consider the mayor to be my boss. I worked in CPS, so the mayor was basically my boss. And I was like, sir, the mayor does not know you. Eric Adams does not know you. That man doesn't know you. Like, what? And then the conversation goes kind of quiet because I literally don't know what to say. Mind you, at this point, he has not asked me a single question. Rather than doing the normal thing and breaking the silence by asking me a question, you know, crazy idea, he decides to say, baby, do you want to go see if we can find the mayor and get a picture with him? I kind of just brush it off and laugh, and I'm like, so do you have any hobbies? This man goes, honestly, I don't really have time for hobbies. Lately, a lot of my time has been spent in court. Yeah, me and my ex, we broke up 2 months ago, and for the past 2 months, we've been in a battle at court. Some people think court is expensive. No, it's not. You can do it for $10. You can go to this type of court, and he starts explaining all the different types of courts. I'm like, why do you know this? And he's like, yeah, we've been to court multiple times already, and you want to know why I'm taking her this time? Because she took my favorite shirt, and she won't give it back. I know a lot of people would think that's petty, but it was my favorite shirt. It has a lot of sentimental value. The craziest part is the waiter came up and he was like, are you guys gonna want to look at the dessert menu? I told the waiter, no thank you, I'm full. This man literally goes, right, you probably don't want to eat dessert anyways. You got a figure to maintain, right? And I'm like, oh. I excuse myself, I go to the bathroom and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, this guy is actually insane. I want to go home. So then I decide, yeah, I'm gonna go home. Like, I literally don't care. So then I come back to sit down at the table. And when I sit back down, he's like, did you see the mayor on your way back? And I'm like, oh my god, why are you so obsessed with the mayor? Like, what did Eric Adams do for you? So then I tell him, I'm like, no, actually, like, I need to head back. I have to get up early tomorrow. And he's like, all right, well, hopefully we can see each other again. I have a lot of court dates coming up, so I'm not exactly sure when that will be, but, you know, let's hang out again. I'd love to hang out. And then he texted me later that night and he's like, thank you for being so positive and empathetic, Candy. Hopefully you never went through a breakup as bad as I went through. And at this point, I'm like, I am over it. I deleted Hinge, I blocked him, and I was like, I don't feel bad after leaving after only 45 minutes, because what the fuck?
Get ready with me while I tell you guys why I'm calling off my engagement. So long story short, my mother-in-law didn't want me or my sister-in-law going to our family Christmas vacation this year, even though we planned it months ahead. So we planned this back in July, August, and we were planning on going to their family London home. And they do this like every year. It's like an annual thing for them. And she initially invited us, and so we bought all of our tickets there, you know, all our excursions we're gonna do. We were planning to have a baby, so I got us like this cute couples day massage. I even got us a box of spicy cubes to take over there. Like, it was gonna be like just a magical day, right? And not even 2 weeks prior to Christmas, she literally calls my fiance and tells him that she doesn't want in-laws at Christmas. She doesn't want any in-laws at Christmas. And she was very persistent on this because she doesn't know the next time she's going to spend it alone with her 30-year-old kids, who literally all have wives, by the way. And so she told him to tell me, and I at first was like, no, I already bought everything. Like, if I'm not going to go, obviously he's not going to go. And so he went to go tell her that, but apparently his brothers already told her that they were going to go without their wives already. So he felt bad saying that he wasn't going to go anymore. So we got in this whole altercation, this whole argument, and then he told that he was going to tell her that he wasn't going to go anymore. And we were just going to kind of do our own thing and honestly just go anyways, but not spend it with them. And so that was the plan. And then not even a couple days before Christmas, he goes and he sits me down and he tells me that he's going to end up going just by himself with his brothers. So obviously he went and he left me and my sister-in-law all alone. So we were just kind of spending Christmas together with ourselves. I ended up having a little something at my house, but yeah, that's the whole reason why I'm calling it off. I don't know, do you guys think I'm going a little too far-fetched with calling off a engagement because of this, or am I doing the right thing? This is part 2 of me calling off my engagement. I had to choose myself over the fact that he was choosing his mother over me. But to answer this question, they are, mood enhancers, sexy time mood enhancers. They, spark up any date night if you guys just want to have a date night inside, or if you want to, have some drinks and then come back home, pop a little spicy cube, and enjoy the next 3 hours in the bed. They work really good. They taste like a Mexican candy, so if you like those, you're going to literally love these. It lasts like 3 hours, I'm not even kidding you. But yeah, his mother did not want any in-laws. She wanted a no in-laws Christmas. She wanted to just spend it with her 30-year-old boys, who all have wives, by the way. And she didn't want me or my sister-in-law going. She excluded us, and we literally bought the tickets. We bought everything back in August. We planned this for months. We were so excited to go, and it was crazy. Like, I bought literally everything, like our excursions. I got us like this cute like couple massage thing. We were even gonna take a box of spicy cubes over there because we were trying to have a baby too. Like, it was just like, it was like a fairy tale dream, and then this happened. I mean, yeah, like me and my sister-in-law were gonna go and we were gonna surprise them, but then we were like, we're not even gonna go because we're not even welcome. Like, I'm not gonna go somewhere where I'm not welcomed. And so yeah, he ended up going, and that's that. Yeah. So obviously I need to wait till he comes back to the US for everything to, initially play out. But yeah, Merry Christmas. Get ready with me while I call off my engagement. So, as you guys were saying, that my mother-in-law did not want me to go to Christmas family vacation this year up in their London home. We were planning this since August, July, like we were planning this for a long time, and she recently just told him, not even 2 weeks ago, that she doesn't want any in-laws at Christmas. And we got in this whole argument because we were just gonna go originally just by ourselves because I, got us all the tickets. I even got us this whole couple massage day, even got us a box of spicy cubes. Like, we were going to have just this perfect day up there because we were trying to have a baby. So I told him, to tell his mother that he wasn't going to go just by himself because she just wanted to hang or to do it with her boys who are 30-year-olds, and they all have wives. Like, she just wanted to have Christmas with just them. Like, I don't know. And so he told her that he was gonna go. And then he told her he wasn't gonna go because we were just gonna go by ourselves. And it created this whole dilemma. And now he is going with just his brothers and leaving me and my sister-in-law at home by ourselves. And trust me, part of me just wants to show up and surprise them that I'm there, but I'm not gonna go somewhere where I'm not welcomed. So I made the final decision that if he's going to choose his mother instead of me, then I need to choose myself over him. I know that wasn't much of a get ready with me, guys, but honestly, I don't even feel like getting ready right now. I'm hurting, and this is the last thing I want to do, but I don't know what else to do.
Ready with me while I tell you guys about my first friend betrayal. This happened when I was in 5th grade. So there was this one new girl at school. Let's call her Shelly. And we became best friends immediately. At the same time, I was dating this boy entering into 5th grade from 4th grade. It was just puppy love, nothing serious. Let's call him James. James and Shelly rode the same school bus. He was not in the same class as us. The only time I ever saw James was during recess or in the morning time. Because we rarely saw each other, Shelly started offering to talk to him for me and pass the notes to him since they rode the same school bus. But little did I know they became really good friends. She would tell me everything that he said about me on the school bus. Like how much he likes me, how cute he thought I was, and I was a very naive girl. I really trusted her. James has a cousin, and I was close friends with her. Let's call her Charlotte. Charlotte approached me. She told me that James admitted to her that he was dating both Shelly and me, and they had been hiding it the whole time behind my back. I don't know what their reasoning was, but yeah, very stupid. Now, I don't care about James. What I cared about was Shelly, and she was my friend. I was heartbroken by Shelly the most. So here's a little something about Shelly and my friendship. Before this, I had never been insecure about my body ever. Shelly is on the bigger side, so she would constantly point out stuff about how skinny I was, how flat-chested I was, and she hit puberty early. I would say hitting puberty in 5th grade is pretty early. She would casually like have me questioning myself about whether I was a woman or not, and why am I built like this. That was the moment that I started covering up and I stopped wearing short sleeves. Like I only stuck to baggy clothes because I started getting self-conscious about my body. My parents are also very strict and very frugal people. I've never stepped foot in a mall before. And she would tell me like how she would go to the mall often with her family. I would tell her I've never been to the mall. And then she would say these things like, oh, you must be poor. These are just small things that she said that added up. And looking back, it wasn't just kids being kids. It was like deeper than that. Like she was jealous and was projecting on me. So back to the James situation, I forgave her and I didn't care about James anymore. I started liking a new guy, and then I told her. She quickly broke up with James and told me she likes my crush. She started dating my crush and I didn't think much about it. I was just like, whatever, I don't care. And then I don't know what happened with them, but we ended up not going to the same middle school. One day she randomly decided to message me on Facebook. She told me she wanted to go to the same high school as me. She wanted it to be like old times, you know? And she told me she was going to the same school. So I was like, that's so cool. I'm so excited. I'm someone who's very forgiving. I tend to forgive and not really hold on to grudges. But then the first day of school come around, she's like, yeah, meet me in the cafeteria. I have the same lunch period as you. I did not see her anywhere. I stopped making excuses for her. I just knew that her character was like that. I've told my husband this story. Now he just jokes that like if Shelly ever pops up back into my life or like randomly add me on social media, that she's probably gonna want to break our marriage up. That 5th grade version of me really shaped how I view friendships, and I'm glad I learned early on there are gonna be friends like that who don't want the best for you and wants to take everything that you have. I don't hate Shelly. I also don't blame her either. I don't know how she was raised or what she was exposed to. I think she was just very insecure, hurting, and projecting. I learned that someone can be close to you and can still harm you. But that was my first lesson on trusting patterns and not potential.
Alright y'all, so here I am again, back with another video, and I'm gonna tell y'all how my high school basketball coach took me to his house after an away game and slept with me when I was 16. So when I was in high school or whatever, I ran track and I played basketball, and I was really good at both. I was an athlete. Like when I tell y'all straight athlete, I was only focused like on my grades and my sports or whatever. So my mom worked or whatever. She would get up every day like 4 or 5 a.m. and my mom wouldn't get off work until about like evening time. So she had to beat traffic. My mom probably would make it home by 5. My mom was the type of mom that was like, okay, if you have to go to tutoring, if you have to do any other extracurricular activities, etc., you're gonna have to find your own way home. Period, point blank. I'm not giving you a ride, I'm not picking you up, none of that.
If you can't catch the bus, like, I don't know, you got to find your own way home. That's how that started. So, you know, I played basketball from like 5th grade up. So this was, I would say I was 16 because I graduated when I was 17. So this had to be my junior year in high school. We had a new male basketball coach, whatever. And you know, everything, it was normal at the beginning, right? So mind y'all, I'm very, I don't want to say grown for my age, but I was very mature at a very young age. So I was experiencing a lot of stuff. I went through a lot of stuff. So me being 16, like I knew how to hold a intellectual conversation. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I didn't have like a bird brain. I'm not even gonna say that. Let me scratch that. I didn't have like a childlike mind at 16. At 16, I thought I was grown, and not in the sense of like being fast, but I was just mature. Like, I'm not like the rest of these girls or whatever. Like, I'm more advanced than I should be, honestly. So we had got a new basketball coach or whatever. First impression, it was like, okay, he was normal. Like, you know, y'all in school, you know, girls or guys, they'll see a teacher or they'll see a coach or whatever, they'll be like, oh, they fine or whatever. I never really looked at him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just so focused on my grades at school, I really didn't look at him like that. So I'll see, you know, on and on in the season, you know, I didn't have a lot of rides. So he knew that, and I was like one of the star players on the basketball team. So, like, obviously you want your star player or one of your star players to make it to practice and make it to the game. So he started giving me rides home after the games. So I can't even tell you. I'm pretty sure that was not legal. I don't know if coaches are able to give. But anyways, I digress. He ended up being my ride home after the games or whatever. So yeah, so it was one after away game. I think we were playing like Kimball or somebody. Like, I can't remember what school, or it could have been no, I forgot what school we were playing. But that's besides the point. So, anyways, like, I'm gonna go back. I'm not gonna tell y'all about that. I'm gonna tell y'all how everything led up to this point. So, obviously, I was not my senior year. I think I was captain. Junior year, I was co-captain. I always started in the games, obviously, because I was that girl. But anyways, that's not about that. So I would have to get the keys from him to go to the locker room or the ballroom to, you know, get the balls and get everything set up for practice. So, you know, this day it was just like a normal day. I'll go to him like, hey coach, like, whatever, can I get the keys, you know, set up for practice or whatever. So, he handed me the keys, but he could like kind of like rub my hand, like when he gave me the keys or whatever. And that was when I knew, like, okay, he on a different. So mind you, like, when me and him would talk or whatever, we'll be in a group setting, like, I would see him like giving me the eye and stuff, and like it was just very, like, I'm not even gonna say innocent because it was kind of known. Like, I kind of felt like he was like feeling me. Like, it's weird to say, but I kind of felt this like tension. And so that was the first time he actually like physically, you know, like touched me. So I got the keys or whatever, I ignored it. The next day or two or so, like, you know, we had practice again, so I'm always the one setting up for practice. So I was like, coach, can I get the keys or whatever? So he ended up doing it again. And y'all, like, it came to a point where we was just doing that for a little while, and I actually started to reciprocate. Like, I was like, you know, I was like, when he would give me the keys, I started rubbing on him too. So it was one point, like, I had went to go get the balls or whatever, and he followed me into the room. And so, like, we had like a washer dryer setup type of deal, and I was in there like getting, it was a game day or whatever. So yeah, I remember like it was a game day. You know, I had to go put the jerseys and everything in the washer, make sure everybody's jerseys, make sure all the uniforms and stuff is clean. So I went there, he came in there after me or whatever. And like, you know, I was bent over getting the jerseys out the dryer. And like, he came in, like, he like brushed his, you know, up behind me or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's crazy. So it wasn't this particular game, but that was like the second big, you know, physical interaction that had happened between us or whatever. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't that game day. It was probably like the next away game. You know, he had to take me home. So I guess on the way, like, he was just basically like, you want to come back to my apartment? So I'm like, I mean, I guess, like, I mean, my mom, you know, she think I'm at a game or whatever. She don't know when I'm when my games are over with, this, that, and the other, whatever. So yeah, y'all, so we end up going back to his apartment. Mind y'all, like, around this time, I was 16, so I lost my V card at 14. I had just had my first sexual encounter with a guy at 16. I think it was 16. I actually, like, you know, had with a guy on my, you know, on my own or whatever. So he was probably like the third guy I ever slept with in my life. So we get to the part, whatever, he makes him a drink. He asked me if I want to drink. Mind you, I'm an athlete. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't do nothing. But it was just like, you know what, like, whatever. So he ended up making me a drink. Y'all know what ended up happening after that. Like, whatever. Like, actually, he took a shower, I took a shower, and then, you know, we was just chilling. Like, baby, just grown. Like, and back then, I'm thinking like, oh, it's normal. No. So yeah, I'm thinking like, well, I was flirting with him, like, whatever, I'm being grown, you know. I think I'm not gonna disclose his name or whatever, because this was like, it doesn't matter how long ago it was, but obviously I'm 29 now. This was like I was 16. So yeah, so if you was to Seagoville, it was only one male coach at that time, around that time. So if y'all do know who it is, just don't say anything, because it's like, I'm not making these to like air anybody's business or anything like that. I'm just speaking my truth and like just telling y'all about all the stuff that's happened to me, like, seriously. But yeah, so at the time, I'm like, you know, ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, I wanted to do it. But it's like, it goes back to like how men prey on you. Like, him knowing my situation with my mom, knowing that, oh, I'm not gonna have no ride, like, him like, oh, we're spending more and more time together. So it's like he's feeding off of this, my weakness or whatever. So yeah, it's just like, at first, you know, I'm telling him my situation. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at basketball. I want to play basketball. I've been playing basketball, obviously, all middle school, almost all high school, whatever. And I'm telling him like, I'm not going to be able to make practice or this and that. So obviously, you know, it was out of genuine help at first, and then it just went from one thing to the next. And so it's crazy because I actually forgot about this incident up until like, I mean, I forget about it and then it comes back on and off. But when I sit down and I think about all of the things that's happened to me growing up, it came across my mind yesterday, because I was like, I really forgot about that. I was a junior in high school, 16 years old, and this 30-something-year-old man took me to his apartment to sleep with me. Somebody who's supposed to be a male role, like my coach. So like, a lot of people are gonna, for one, growing up, everything that happened to me, I used to hate my mom. Like, I used to despise her, because I felt like every time something bad happened to me is when she wasn't around, especially in my younger years. So it's like, if my mom was picking me up, this is how I used to think about stuff. I always blamed her. If my mom was picking me up on a regular basis, I wouldn't have to ask this grown man for no rides, like, period. Like, and it's just like, dang, I'm always put in like compromising situations. And genuinely at the beginning, I wasn't even on that type of time with him until he like was like, okay. So then I was like, okay, but it doesn't make it right at the end of the day. Some people probably blame me. Oh, you were being fast, you were doing this and that. But at the end of the day, I'm a 16-year-old girl. He's my basketball coach, and he took me back to his place and slept with me. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, y'all, like, he didn't like force himself on me or anything like that. I'm not making this to that extent, because it wasn't really like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, being an adult, if my 16-year-old's basketball coach took, like, oh yeah, it's going down. And no, I didn't tell my mom until I was like 25. I never said anything. I told like a few of my friends. I told one girl that I was playing basketball with. I told my best friend, but and I don't know who they told. I wouldn't know. But it's like, I told a couple people, but I was just like, whatever. Like, I did what I did, like, whatever. But now being grown, it's just like, that was just another man preying on me. Like, the third man I ever slept with. And then it's so crazy because it hurt so bad. It was not enjoyable at all. Like, I started to bleed. It was just a big thing. Like, but yeah, it's like being an adult now, growing up. I don't blame my mom anymore. I've forgiven her like a long time ago because my mom didn't abuse me. You know, it was all these men and stuff. But this is just my life. And no wonder why I'm so, like, I don't trust anybody. I feel like everybody's out to get me. I'm always in my head. I'm always overthinking. I'm always questioning every fucking thing because of all this trauma. Like, I've had some really good boyfriends, y'all. Y'all know I'm married, but me and my husband's situation is different. But I've had some really good boyfriends, and I just self-sabotage, don't believe they really love me, just out to get me, da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, y'all, there's just another story time of how I was used and abused. But hey, I'm here. I'm alive. A little crazy, but I'm alive. So, okay, y'all. So first off, I want to start by saying, I'm looking at these comments on my last video about the situation with my basketball coach. And first thing I want to say, some of these comments are ridiculous. And the fact that there's a lot of women defending this man is crazy to me. Because at the end of the day, whether I wanted to or not, or I knew better or not, I was a 16-year-old girl preyed upon by a 30-something-year-old grown man. And it's men in the comments, which, men, y'all never cease to amaze me. But it's just the fact that, how do y'all feel like that's okay? I just don't understand. I will never understand that. So let's get into these comments because this is crazy. So there's a lot of people saying, oh, 3 bodies at 16. You were fast, blaming me. Y'all love to victim blame. So let me tell y'all this. The first person that I ever had a sexual encounter with raped me. And I hate that TikTok doesn't allow me to say what I need to say, but my dad took my V card when I had just turned 14 years old. It was the summer going into my freshman year of high school. That was the first person I ever did anything with. And I hate to make it sound so like whatever, but I'm almost 30 and like, yeah, the stuff still bothers me, but I'm just trying to be straightforward and blunt and honest about it. My dad took my V card, point blank, period. I ended up sleeping with a guy like twice after that. Mind you, I was going through so much at the time. Like, I didn't even know much about that in particular. So, yeah. So, my basketball coach was the third person that I, had an encounter with. So, y'all having this outlook on me as if, oh, I was just fast and I was just doing this and this and that. No, that wasn't the case. Because if it was up to me, I wouldn't have lost my virginity, period. Like, and I don't like how y'all steady trying to make it okay. And I did that for so many years. Even when I told my mom, I was like 25 when I finally told my mom, and she was furious. And I get it, but I was still psychologically like, no, I wanted to do it. Even if I wanted to do it, and this is for you bird brain, you know what? I said I wouldn't even go back and forth. So I'm going to just address this and keep it pushing. Even if I wanted to do it, I was 16 years old. There's a thing called statutory rape. So just because I consent, I was still underage. So I could say all day long, oh, I was mature for my age. And I knew what was going on. I never said that I didn't know what was going on. And it's a lot of y'all in the comments like, oh, you were going. You knew what you were doing. I never said I didn't. Like, let's just make that clear. Even if, like I said, if I wanted to, it doesn't change the fact that there was a grown man in an authority role, my basketball coach, who took me to his house, gave me a drink. No, I don't drink. Obviously, I'm 16. Like, I don't know what other 16-year-olds doing. There were so many kids doing so much that was way more advanced than I was, even with all my trauma and everything. But you gave me a drink, and you did what you did, and whatever the case may be. And it wasn't just an awesome experience. It hurt, and I bled, and it was very traumatizing. It was very traumatizing for me. A lot of the questions y'all kept asking, like, did everything go back to normal after that? Yeah. Like, again, I tried to pretend that it didn't happen. I avoided him at all points. I don't know, like, it just felt weird. It just felt weird. We had like a few more games left in the season. I played, just pretend everything was, normal, went to practice, whatever. It wasn't like super awkward because I think it was just like a mutual understanding. Like, I didn't want to do that. Like I said, it was very traumatizing. After the fact, it felt wrong. I knew it was wrong. I knew I shouldn't have been doing it. But at the end of the day, it's like, it happened. I said I would go to his place, whatever, it happened. But yeah, we just both tried to pretend like it didn't happen, pretty much. So that's for everybody who keeps asking, like, so did you continue to play for him? I did continue to play. I finished out the season. I graduated. We never. And for everybody who says I be all over the place in my story times, I have ADHD, and sometimes it's hard for me to like focus on one thing at a time. So I do seem like I'm all over the place. So I do apologize for that. But yeah. If you can't lock in, don't lock in. I'm using my platform to speak my truth. At first, it wasn't like I was trying to out him. I didn't really even expect my video to blow up like this. But there's people who already know who he is or whatever. I went ahead and posted his picture in the comments. And at this point, his name is Diedrich Bogard. Coach Bogard. Period. There was a story about a coach at what is it called? Hold on. So somebody had messaged me, and I'm not going to disclose any names because there was quite a few people that messaged me knowing who he was, because it was a school, what is it called? Moss Point High School in Mississippi. So there was a coach there who was sleeping with the girls or whatever, got caught, got 25 years in prison for that, and they were friends. Crazy work. There was multiple girls messaging me how he, was being inappropriate with them and was at this last school. So it's like he left one school to come to another school to be a predator still. So it makes me even more upset that I wish I would have said something back then, but I was literally going through my own trauma with the stuff that happened with my dad, with him doing what he did to me. I was experiencing so much at this time. I wasn't in my right mind at the end of the day. I was a 16-year-old girl fighting demons, literally. Like, so much going on. At the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to continue to speak my truth. I don't care about being judged. I'm almost 30. Like, I'm not about to get in the comments with y'all, go back and forth with y'all, because I didn't want to do that in the first place. I'm using my platform to spread awareness, to speak my truth. And that's just what it is. This year, I told myself, like, I wasn't holding back anymore. I'm done protecting pedophiles. I'm done protecting predators. And I'm just over it. Like, I've been preyed upon my whole life. And I'm just fucking over it at the end of the day. So y'all can get in the comments. Y'all can have y'all's opinions. But it's not going to faze me, and it's not going to stop me from speaking my truth. And, helping other girls, like, be aware. There's girls that's in my DMs right now going through what I went through, scared to speak out because of these roles that these men are playing in their lives, and it's sickening. Like, it's really sickening. So, I'm looking, it's so many comments, for starters. Sorry, y'all, I'm sick. So many comments, and I'm going to just address a couple of them. The relationship with my mom is better. We talked about it. She was upset. She wanted me to report him. I was still in a protective state, I guess. So I was telling her I wanted to do it. He didn't like take me in and like my dad did, whatever. It's so many freaking comments, and it's so many people like, at 16 though, I mean, you were not a baby, 2 years away from being a legal adult. How did you know right from wrong? It's stuff like that. It's like 3 bodies by 16 is crazy. Y'all not even keeping up what I'm putting out, literally. Like, and it's just so many people judge me in the comments, which I really don't care. But it's like, I pray that y'all never have daughters. I pray that y'all never have sons, because women aren't the only ones who get preyed upon. So yeah, like I said, I posted him in the comments. I gave y'all his name. Everybody wanted me to like, it's whatever. Like, like I said, I'm done protecting. I'm done protecting people. I'm over it. It's out. Nothing I can do about that. So yeah, it's a lot of victim blaming in these comments, and I find it quite disturbing and quite hilarious also, because who raised y'all? And what makes y'all think that a 16-year-old boy or girl having sexual interactions with each other, sexual relations, is okay with a 30-something-year-old man or woman? Like, help me understand that. What's y'all's logic behind this? I'm a 16-year-old girl, or I was a 16-year-old girl in high school. Freshly 16. Freshly. And y'all are really sticking beside this man and blaming me. Like, it's diabolical.
Here I am again.
It's diabolical.
Another video.
I don't know what else to say. Okay, you guys, so as far as the situation with my former basketball coach or whatever, I will no longer be speaking on that matter. I don't know, I've been getting a lot of messages, and first thing I want to say is that I appreciate all of your kind words, and I really appreciate you guys supporting me and not judging me for sharing my story. At the end of the day, like, I've endured a lot of trauma, and the older I get, the more I realize and how it's impacted my life and my mental health, my emotional health. So I really appreciate all of the kind words, but I won't be speaking on that as of right now. It has gone above and beyond, and but yeah, I am going to fight to get my justice, and that's that on that. As far as the girls from Moss Point, or girls who went to Seekville with me, or even the current school that he was at or whatever, like, if y'all know anybody that has gone through something similar, have them reach out to me, because, this needs to be handled. But like I said, I appreciate y'all, and I'm not done, telling my stories, because he's one of many men who preyed upon me, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But I love y'all so much, and I really appreciate it. And I know it's been 13 years, and I wish I would have spoke out sooner, but yeah, wish I would have spoke out sooner, but here we are now, and I just appreciate all of y'all. So, like I said, if you know anybody who's been in a similar situation with this person like me, have them reach out to me. And if you are a girl or woman, and it doesn't matter how long it's been, if you've been sexually abused, sexually assaulted, you should speak up, because it's not okay for us to walk around emotionally damaged, physically damaged, while these men continue to go free. So speak your truth. I don't care about people in the comments judging me or this, that, and the other. I don't care. Sorry, my lip gloss is messed up. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'm not done. This is only the beginning. So I love y'all. Hope y'all have a good day. Be safe out here with all this snow. But yeah, y'all be safe with all this snow. And I'll be back with more stories for y'all. And yeah, y'all be safe and enjoy the rest of your day.
Good morning, good afternoon. So we just gonna go ahead and jump right into it, since people want to take my business to social media that I never even came out and told nobody out my own mouth. I'm gonna go ahead and tell my own story and beat you to the punch. So this is part 1 of how I lost my kids to CPS due to domestic violence when they were never around. Let's keep that in mind, right? So I had my first baby when I was 15 years old, right? Me and this boy, we met in school. You feel me? We were best friends. Like, we was tight. That was my dog. We talked on the phone damn near every day on three-way. Me, my sisters, him, his brothers. You feel me? Like, that was my best friend. We was locked the fuck in. Well, me and him, we're both virgins, right? So one thing led to another. We end up making it do what it do, and I get pregnant. It wasn't planned. We didn't expect it to happen, but it happened, right? So boom, I have my first baby. This is the first grandchild, the first niece, you feel me? She's the first everything. Like, I'm the first out of all 6 of my mama kids to have a baby. So my baby's spoiled rotten. I'm talking about my whole pregnancy. My mom had the audacity to tell me, I'm not doing nothing for you. I'm not buying anything for you. You gonna have to figure it out on your own. She waited until I'm 8 months pregnant, and then she finally drops the bag for my baby, right? So had me thinking like, okay, my mom's not gonna be there for me, and you feel me? Like, I was depressed. I thought my mom wasn't gonna do shit. So boom, I had my baby. Everything go normal. You feel me? Every weekend she's going with her dad. Like, I don't really have my baby on the weekends. She's with her dad. Like, we had a great system going on when it came to my first child, right? So, mind you, I was 15. Now I'm about 18, 19. I'm pregnant with my second kid, right? Now, this pregnancy, it went a little different. Okay. My mom and my stepdad were trying to force me to have an abortion. I'm 18, 19 years old. You feel me? Abortion? What the fuck is an abortion? I wouldn't go through with that. So my mom kept trying to push me into adoption. Put your baby up for adoption because we're not taking care of another kid. Like, a bunch of bullshit. So, okay, I had my second kid. Hold on, y'all. I'm a little emotional. Okay, anyway. So I had my second baby, and it was hard. My pregnancy was horrible. My labor, when I went into labor, I had an agreement with my godmom that she would take my baby for me until me and her dad get an apartment together and we can get our baby back. Hold on. So labor and delivery is just me and my godmom. When we're in the hospital, I'm explaining to her, yeah, you're gonna take her. I'm gonna get my life together, and I'm gonna come get her back. Right? This is the agreement between the two of us. So I go home, my baby and my aunt, my godmom, my aunt, my uncle's ex-wife. You feel me? That's my aunt. They go their separate ways, right? So, okay, cool. I got a nice little system going, but I'm trying to get out my mom's house now. I need my kid. So, fast forward, her dad got locked up in the middle of my pregnancy, whatever. Okay, so he comes home, right? Day he gets released from jail, his whole family blowing up my phone. They want to see the baby, want to see the baby, want to see the baby. Okay, cool. Call up my godmom. I'm like, I'm going to come pick up the baby for a minute, and I'm going to take her to her dad, meet her dad, figure out, like, what we can do to get our baby. You feel me? Now he's home. We can figure this shit out. My godmom wouldn't let me get my baby. That's weird. That's suspicious. Why I can't get the child that I just pushed out my coochie, I'm not understanding. So a whole fiasco ends up blowing over. I end up having to call the police on her, file a police report. Adoption papers were forged. It was a whole bunch of bullshit, right? So boom, get my baby back. I move to Holland with my cousin, her mom, they family. They gonna help me get my shit together with both of my babies, okay? So we got a great system going on. I went and I found me a job. Mind you, I'm 19, 20 at the time now. Go ahead, find me a job. I start working with my uncle. Me and my uncle, we riding together. It's a factory job. I don't really too much like this because it's a lot of grown ass men, and we was working with, what the fuck is that shit called? The shit that gets in your skin. Fiberglass. There we go. We working with fiberglass, and I got a baby at home. Like, I can't be going home to my kids and I have fiberglass all over me, and that can get on my kids. So I go ahead and find me a new job. I end up finding a job at Russ's as a server. Now I'm a server. Okay, cool. Working on better in my life, and I met a man, right? That wasn't in the plan. I was supposed to get my life together so me and my baby daddy can, live a great good life with our kids. Mind you, my kids don't have the same dads. I still have this good system going on between me and my first baby daddy, my best friend. He still takes his baby on the weekends. I'm working, I'm doing my shit. Amen. So I meet a man at work and he accepts me and my kids. So then I start spending some time with him and pushing away from my baby daddy, and I start losing focus on what I moved out here to do. My kids, right? Get my shit together. Make sure my kids are straight. That's it. That's all. Things go too far, too quick in this little relationship. Mind you, I'm 20 years old and I am dating a 37-year-old man that I just met at work. He's the cook. Like, I'm a fucking server. Like, we don't even have no business being together. So me and this man decide it's a great idea. Well, this grown-ass man decided it was a great idea that we was just gonna go ahead and get married. Oh, that's cute. That's what I want in my life. I want to get married anyway. So he's feeding me this fantasy. Just, we're not going to get into detail with that man. But yeah. So I run off and I marry this man. Blindly. Like a fucking dummy. And guess what he did, y'all? A week after we got married, this man beat the shit out of me. Beat me. I'm talking about bang my head against the fucking steering wheel, beat me while my baby was in the back seat. Mind you, my baby is 2 months old. What? I'm screaming for my life. My baby's in here. Please just don't put your hands on me. Just get out my car. Pleading for my life. Get out my car. He finally steps out the car to light a cigarette. And before he closed the door, he had the audacity to tell me this ain't over. Get ready for round 2. Round 2? I already lost. I don't want to go another round. Soon as this man closed the door to my car, boom, I take off. I'm gone. Gone like the wind. And I go from Holland to Grand Rapids in 15 minutes. How I did that, I have no fucking clue. Whole way I'm driving, calling my baby daddy. This man just put his hands on me. Please, I need help. I need help. Just take your baby. I'm going to figure it out. I meet my baby daddy in a parking lot at 2 a.m. He takes his child. I go my separate way. I go to the hospital. I do what I do to make sure that this man is going to jail. Did my one to end up having to send this man to prison because he was on a tether when it happened anyway, and he ended up cutting the tether off because he knew I was telling on him, as the fuck I should. I ended up moving in with my mom. My mom let me come back, me and both of my babies, because yeah, bitch, come back. I moved back in with my mom. Now I got to get my shit together. Now I got to show her that I can take care of me and my 2 kids, right? This is the plan. Y'all come back for part 2 because I'm running out of time. Meet me there.
Whenever I'm in my car driving home from work and in really slow traffic, I like wiggle dance because there's not much you can do. And I always wonder what people in the cars and traffic around me think when I'm just over here booting and scooting in my own car by myself.
So I went on a date. And I know what you're thinking. I know. One monkey don't stop no show. So here we go. We did some texting back and forth. I gave him my number. After I gave him my number, but this was our first conversation. He's like, "What you doing today?" I told him I got some shopping to do. He's like, where you gonna go shopping at? I said, I'm probably head to this mall. And if you follow me, you know the mall that I go to. So he was like, oh, yeah, I'll meet you. Maybe I'll meet you there. Are you hungry? I can eat. So he said, yeah, we'll just do brunch or something. Like, that sounds perfect, right? Real easy going, laughing, talking. Nothing too bad. Like, nothing too major. The problems came when we went to the restaurant. So he took me to this little quaint restaurant. Small, though. Like, you can see the entire restaurant from the door. But so our food comes out. And he's like, dang, I didn't want all these pancakes. I only want a little pancakes. I was like, oh, don't worry. We can split them. Why did this man put his hand like this on the pancakes and then take a knife and cut the pancakes? Dude, you did not wash your hands. We were just at the mall touching all kind of bottles of cologne, all kinds of things. And then I'm supposed to eat, like, what? I was like, And he said, I thought you was going to have some of these pancakes. That's right, I changed my mind. You changed it. It's because I touched it, huh? No shit, Sherlock. Like, yeah, it's because you touched it. Like, who does it? I don't know you, sir. And even if I did, on the way to the car, he's like, oh, ignore my grill on my car. I just cracked it. It was cracked. So he said that he was out the other night, got drunk, and then hit his car, like ran into his other car in his driveway at home. Okay. He calls me and he's like, so what time you gonna be done later? What time I'm picking you up? Picking me up for what, sir? Because I thought we would do something, you know, like in the winter, like walk around and see that it was Christmas. It was right before Christmas. So see the Christmas lights, you know, like a cute romantic. I told you I had plans, had stuff to do. I don't know. And he's like, well, come when you're done at your sister's house. I said, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be there, or just let me know. Just call me when you. Okay. I get to my sister's house. Do you know this man called me 6 times? I'm not even talking about the text messages. And I am responding to your text messages, and I'm like, hey, nope, still at my sister's house. How long are you gonna be? I don't know. And I have my children with me, so I'm not planning on meeting up with you. Like, he had a whole attitude, Well, hell, you ain't, I thought we were seeing me. You ain't got time for me. You just gonna not be with me. Long story short, I didn't go out with him. The next day, he's calling, he's texting, all the things. And so I kind of texted him, like, hey, I'm a little busy today. Like, dude, you're funny. We had a good time. However, this is just a little too much for me. You don't mean that. You don't even know what you want. Oh, this was the Sunday before Christmas. On Christmas Eve, I tell him, like, oh, my family's having, I'm busy again. My family has their Christmas party on Christmas Eve. So he's like, send me a picture. So I send him a picture of me at the party. He sends me a picture of him at a bar. It's like 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and you're sitting at a bar. He sent me a picture of you at a bar. You're sitting at a bar. Okay. His kids are 15 and 17. They're older, you know what I mean? So I get it. You don't have to play Santa and do all the things. Fast forward, the party's over. I go home, take my kids home, and he calls me. I don't respond. He texts me. Don't respond. Then, do you know this man called me 3 more times? And the last time was at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Christmas Day comes, because it's 4 a.m. on Christmas Day when he called me. Anyway, I'm asleep. I didn't answer though, but I see it when I wake up. So it's Christmas Day. I am in the midst of my kids and all the things. Missed 3 more calls, plus also text messages. All right, I'm gonna have to call him and fix this, because this is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to put him in his place. I called him and he's like, man, I'm so blue that I ain't see you in the last few days. Like, that really just blew me. Like, what's going on? Like, that you ain't got no time for me. Like, how you talking about dating? You ain't got time. It's the holidays. He calls me again. I don't answer. I'm asleep because we got up earlier to do Christmas. Anyway, and he leaves a voicemail, and it's the most belligerent voicemail ever. Like, nonsense.
Wow, c'est vraiment ça. Wow.
What is this? Because you, sir, are drunk. And remember, he crashed his car because he was drunk. So not only are you clingy, possessive, and a little crazy, but you're an alcoholic. I'm starting to think that you have a problem. So I text him, and I'm like, you know what? I am not the one for you. But I really hope you found what you're looking for. Have a happy new year, happy holidays. Do you? And he immediately calls me. I'm not answering. I say what I said. And so then he texts me. He says, for real? What you mean? He just answer the phone. No need to answer the phone. I said what I said. Have a good life. You will be blocked. and he's still calling and texting, you gonna be like that? Just answer the phone. Why you can't just answer the phone? So I block him. And that was my first dating experience since filing for divorce. Just so optimistic for the future.
Your total is $18. Do you want to donate $3 to the Children's Fund? No. I'm sorry, did you say that you hate all children and you want them to die? You know what, Claire? That is what I said. No, give me my receipt.
Well, yesterday, the guy that I've been talking to for 2.5 months told me I was his priority, and today he dumped me over text while I was working on the day that we were supposed to celebrate Valentine's Day together, where he booked us a nice dinner reservation. And so, does anyone want a gift basket? Got a water bottle, candy, mint, Aquaphor, body wash, flannel, hoodie. Let me know.
Hi friends, welcome back. Today I'm not going to talk about things I did wrong in my marriage. I'm going to talk about some dating I did. So my husband and I have been separated for 2.5 years. Divorced for almost as long. We separated in September and the papers were signed in January. So I've been fully divorced for well over 2 years. I've been on a couple dates here and there, nothing serious. But I met this guy online and he was really nice, and it turned out that his son went to school with my son. So I kind of knew him like through that, like not knew him, but felt a little bit better about the situation. So we went out a few times. It was good. He's kind. He's not bad looking. The first date, he paid for drinks and we just kind of, went to dinner. Just normal things. And I looked online because women, I don't know if you know about this Facebook website that's called Are We Dating the Same Person? And then whatever your area is. And you find, like, you can search your area for their name or whatever, and other women that have dated him or know him can tell you the red flags, tell you things about him. So it's like a really cool site that's like women warning women. And I think it's awesome. But I saw that after I'd been out with him a couple times, saw that he was posted on there like a year ago with some not so flattering comments about him being a cheater and whatever else. So I asked him about the cheating and was like, because you're not supposed to tell them about the site or, show them the site. But I said something about it and he goes, oh, that site, and my friend at work told me I was on there and, told me the story. And I mean, it seemed legit, like his story, but I was like, my ex-husband seemed legit too. And we say where that ended. I tend to be too nice and naive. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I was like, we're going to take things slow. We went out a couple more times. I mean, nothing ever happened. He kept wanting me to come to his house and make me dinner. And I'm not stupid. I know what that means. And I wasn't doing that. I wasn't ready for that. I was like, no, I'm just not comfortable with that. Or I can't go that far away from my house because my kids, like my son is babysitting my daughter or whatever. So he was getting ready to go on a trip and he wanted to meet up. So we went to a local restaurant / bar near my house, met there, sat at the bar. Before we got there, I texted him and said, are we eating or just having drinks? What are we doing? And he goes, that's up to you. I said, okay, how about we eat on our own before we come, and then we just get drinks and like an appetizer to save money. And he said, okay, sounds great. Okay. So I got there first. I was sitting there having a beer and he, shows up and just chit chat and whatever. He was leaving for his trip the next day. And he was like, did you eat? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I'm really hungry. Well, what do you want? And I was like, I'm good. I don't want anything. And he said, oh, and I was like, get what you want. And he was like, well, I thought we were going to share an appetizer. Okay. He was like, do you want a barbecue chicken pizza or this other thing? I forget what it was, but I didn't like it. Like, I don't I'm not really a barbecue eater, and whatever this other thing was, I forget what it was, but I don't eat that either. And I was like, I don't want any of those. Like, you get what you want, and I'm just gonna drink. I'm just gonna have a few drinks, and that's it. Okay. So, mind you, remember, we talked about this before we came. Just a couple drinks and an appetizer to save money, I said. And I'm thinking, well, he can get whatever he wants. I ate before I got there. So he ordered like a $30 pizza, okay, and ate a few pieces, boxed up the rest and took it home with him, and then asked me if I wanted to split the bill. Excuse me? I had 2 drinks, and you had 2 drinks and a $30 pizza, and you want to split the bill. And I was like, okay. And I was like, is he joking? Is this serious? No, he really wanted to split the bill. So my 2 beers cost me like $40. And mind you, I'm a single mom that owns a home and pays for everything. I don't get help. And I'm paying for half your pizza that you took home with you? I don't understand. So anyways, that's my experience with dating. So now we all know I've been single for 2.5 years. Like, where are the good guys? Like, I feel like I'm on Bumble, Facebook dating. I don't do a lot with it, but there's like 5 types of men. 1, they have to show a shirtless picture, whether they're in shape or not. No. The fishing or the dead deer pictures, no. Or the guy that wants to prove that he's been everywhere and done everything. Pictures of him in Rome, pictures of him in Ireland, pictures of him rappelling down a mountain. Like, dude, no. Like, I barely get out of the house except to go to work, and I'm just trying to survive and pay my bills. I won't be rappelling down a mountain with you or just traveling at the spur of the moment. Like, where are the guys that want to have a meaningful relationship and are just normal people? Like, not traveling 24 hours a day, or not trying to date 18 people at once, or showing off the pecs that they don't have. I don't understand. I don't understand. The choices are so limited. Please help me. Where do I go to find normal, kind, caring gentlemen? And it's not about somebody buying me dinner. It's not about somebody taking care of me. I'm a strong, independent woman. I take care of myself and I take care of my children. I just want somebody normal that cares about me and makes me feel happy and likes to joke around. And you don't have to worry about what they're doing when they're not with you. And they don't get mad that you don't have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to spend with them. Where are these people? Like, how is there so many single women, but all the single men are trying to prove something, or they all think we're just out to get their money? What money? I have my own money. I have a good job. I have a college degree. What money are you thinking I'm taking from you? I just want kindness. Like, where are these people? Help me out. Comment, like, follow me, listen to my other content. But thanks for listening to me complain about the dating world. Bye.